There have been multiple stories emerging over the last few weeks pertaining to prison reform and a lot of the issues that we have within our justice system. As some of you might have heard, although I'm sure you didn't hear it from mainstream media because it doesn't fit their narrative, that Trump hates black people. But President Trump posthumously pardoned boxing legend Jack Johnson, who was the first heavyweight champion. The conversation of prison reform has been a hot topic around the White House, with it kind of emerging as a priority as of this past January. So Jared Kushner has been the driving force behind it. Jared's father, Charles Kushner, served 14 months in prison after pleading guilty to a number of white-collar crimes, including tax evasion, illegal campaign contributions, and witness tampering. Now, Rhode Island Democrat Sheldon Whitehouse and Texas Republican John Cornyn introduced a prison reform bill that passed the House last week in a huge 360 to 59 vote, with the nay votes suggesting that it was too narrow and doesn't include sentencing reform. What the bill does accomplish, which is called the First Step Act, is three major things. It allocates $50 million per year for 5 years to programs that reduce recidivism. It also allows some prisoners to earn credits to end their sentences early and requires that inmates be no further than 500 miles from their family. The president has been urging Congress to come to a consensus since he compiled a prison reform summit earlier this month. In reference to the White House Cornyn bill, the president said this: "The legislation would help restore the rule of law, keep dangerous criminals off the street, and help inmates get a second chance at life." And here's my segue. There are many people within the prison system who deserve a second chance. Now, I tend to be pretty hard-lined and militant when it comes to committing crimes, but I do recognize that there are often people who go to prison, rehabilitate themselves with, by the way, no help from the prison system, and come out on the other side, or unfortunately maybe don't come out, and they sit in prison having reformed themselves and become better people, and people who once released could have and would have been contributory, even valuable citizens. Now, one such case is that of a Tennessee man, Matthew Charles. But I'm going to save him and his story for the Rebel Buzz video tomorrow because he deserves an entire segment to himself. But a few days ago, when I heard that Kim Kardashian would be going to the White House, I had to stop myself from puking. After all of the ranting and raving that I did during Obama's presidency about him bringing useless celebrities to the White House, turning it into a presidential party pad, it would be very hypocritical of me to not be outraged over this. But when you scratch the surface and dig a little deeper and peel back the layers of the onion, you find that she's actually there for a very noble and important cause. I know I'm as flabbergasted as you are. But it helps that her husband has a hardcore crush on POTUS, so that probably made it a little bit more palatable for her to go meet with the administration. Her purpose for her visit was to implore the president to pardon a great-grandmother from Texas who, though she did commit a crime, has been the victim of a whole lot of bad luck and misfortune and the recipient of some unfair judicial treatment. According to a Yahoo article published yesterday, Johnson has been imprisoned for 21 years since she was found guilty of drug conspiracy and money laundering in 1997. The single mother of 4 is from Olive Branch, Mississippi. She first got pregnant at age 15. She divorced her husband in 1989 and developed a gambling addiction, which resulted in the loss of her 10-year career at FedEx. She filed for bankruptcy and her home foreclosed, and 1 year later, in 1992, her son was killed while riding his scooter. According to the article, during the trial, Alice Johnson's partners plotted against her despite her minimal role. She alleges that she never sold drugs, but rather assisted with the communication in the organization. So she was the fall guy or fall girl, resulting in her life sentence at Aliceville Correctional Facility in Alabama, without parole, plus 25 years. Similar to Matthew Charles' story, Alice Johnson has led an exemplary life in prison. She has mentored other inmates. She became an ordained minister. She's even given Skype interviews with Yale University and Google about her case. She had the support of multiple Democrats and thought for sure that under President Obama that she would be pardoned or granted clemency. But Obama's term came and went, and she's still sitting in prison waiting for some stroke of luck, or more accurately, benevolence by President Trump, or maybe just waiting to die. Like I said, I'm pretty hardcore and unsympathetic when it comes to crime, but I don't think that it's right to be like that. I don't like that I'm like that. We should have more compassion for people. But even aside from the compassion aspect, shouldn't we want to incentivize inmates to rehabilitate themselves while they're in prison so that they can be released and have a second chance at life? Isn't that really what it should be about? And I don't know, maybe I'm just being a little bit of a softie today, but I'll have more about this in the Rebel Buzz tomorrow. Hope you all are having a great week. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Amanda Head for The Rebel. If you enjoyed my commentary and want to hear more from all of us here at The Rebel, subscribe to our premium content at www.therebel.media/shows. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for all of our latest news, and download our app for The Rebel Media on the App Store. That way you will have instant and easy access to all of our latest videos and your favorite Rebel shows. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Amanda Head for The Rebel.